But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
killer bees kill people, kill horses. They will attack anything that moves, anything that makes noise, smells.
They don't care what they sting. They will kill anything.
Black and yellow in color, they work together as the ultimate killing machine, made up of lancets that inject a venomous toxin into their victims. These frightening swarms are the result of an experiment gone wrong, a deadly mistake.
Inside out, inside upside down, inside out, inside out. Inside out, inside out, down, inside out, inside upside down, inside out, inside out, down, inside out, inside upside down.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die, looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly if we scream no. This is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us roll till no one knows. We'll never grow. Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die, looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly if we scream no. This is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us run till no one knows. We'll never grow.
bang, bang, bloody bang. It's all bang, bang, bloody bang.
Make the ground shake.
backs against the wall. It seems impossible.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Vespyr's Premier League Week 4, Day 2. And we're already into the champion selection and banning phase of the game between three Hana going against the Flying Mariachis. I'm Grang, and I'm joined by good bro Joe.
Thank you very much, Grang, and already we're seeing the first few bans coming out. Zed on one side with Anivia on the other. A very respectful ban coming out against Nuri there with the Anivia. He's his most played champion at the time. And Kog'Maw is the final one as well. Obviously a very strong champion currently. Can be such a driving force behind teams if a comp is built around him.
Indeed, we've already seen in the IEM that he's really doing work there, so... There's a last ban's probably being the last ban coming up from Flying Mariachis, who are on the blue side for this first game of the best of two. And they Hana finishing up their bans with the Fiora. I'm not so surprised there either.
Yeah, definitely. Fiora is still such a horrible pick in that top lane, able to be a massive split pushing threat and be able to function fairly well in team fights as well, depending on how she flanks and gets into them. And Lulu picked up first by the Flying Mariachis. A lovely flex pick there. Could be mid, could be support, could even be top. We'll have to see where they decide to go with that. But very strong straight away. And Malphite being hovered by Ozyman Sam, and it is locked in. So that will probably be a top lane Malphite. And another very strong pick, able to really make these team fights horrible with his pick potential from that unstoppable force, and has a fairly okay-ish lane as well.
Indeed, that too. I have found out it's gonna go support, but I think mid lane would be my top pick, or it will go. Just gonna deal out hundreds of damage on that lane.
Yeah, definitely. Lulu is a really strong mid laner with the ability, because she scales so well when she gets the AP items that she can take up from mid lane. I mean, she can just make you so fast and give such high shields that it doesn't really matter what a lot of things the enemy try to do. She can just keep people alive. And that Alistar getting locked in finally on the side of Frihuna, another really strong own pick, going for a lot of engage on this side of Frihuna. And yep, we see Elise and Nautilus. Well, Nautilus locked in, Elise being hovered at the minute. Very strong picks as well. A lot of potential to pick somebody out of a fight and just instantly CC them away so they can't even play their own game.
Yeah, it speaks a lot of volume about the team comp that the three Hana are already going up with that Malphite and Alistar. And it almost speaks like they wanna pick up some kind of AD carry. Like Kog'Maw would be almost perfect to this team comp with Alistar and Malphite, but sadly it's banned out. But Corki is open and it's gonna get picked in. Would be the Jhin.
It could be. It has been used to some success, especially if you've been watching IEM recently. Reckless picking that up to great success, and I think Jin's an okay pick, to be fair. He's after the buffs, he has the ability to do fairly well in lane, and he's actually fairly oppressive as well when he gets going, because his Q and W synchronize so well, and it looks like they're going to leave the ADC to the last pick unless this Corki flexes down, although I would expect it to go mid.
It all comes down to what the last pick is gonna be for three Hana. So leave that open until we have the turn to pick once again. Lane Brock getting hovered over the potential Rockies. He has shown that he is mechanically skilled to play the lane.
It is the highest mastery champion as well, and he does like the Vayne, just to say the least. Vayne is fairly strong into this team as well, with the Malphite and the Alistar. Being able to shred them down with that max health proc on those silver bolts will be a lot more important than necessarily hinted to, because it is such a horrible team comp that Frihuna have assembled right now with this massively tank frontline. And yep, there we go, Vayne locked in for Muyu.
Not sure if this might be the first Vayne game on the Premier League. I'm not sure. I have to check that from our producers if that's correct. But I have a good feeling that it is.
Yeah, and Brown locked in as well. That's a fairly a horrible lane. Well, Brown makes any lane a horrible lane, to be fair, but it is a nice counter pick into Alistair, and it means that he's going to have the ability to just keep the CC on lock and try and keep this bot lane in check. But he's being hovered by Hitler right now, and no, it's not a bad pick. He's fairly strong and has the ability to both engage and disengage with his dashes and his passive synchronizing so well.
And it's going to be. So now we have the full team comp on both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Quite yet.
Well, now you say that, in LCK there was a mid lane Nautilus. I don't remember exactly the player, but it was played. Yes, it did lose, but that's not the point. It could potentially, but at the same time, for Huna's team comp right now, I think is extremely horrible in the fact of you've got so much potential to just jump on top and then use the mass amount of AoE that you have to just do so much damage. I mean, you've got Piercing Light, you've got the Foss Bombs, you've got the poke coming out from Corki as well, and then on top of that, if you follow all those in with the Malphite ult and the Alistair combo, I mean, you could just instantly delete teams. But it is a nice comparison in the sense of Nuri on that Lulu in the mid lane will be able to keep people alive, SLB on Braum, able to try and keep the zone with that Glacial Fissure, and try and slow down the fights, while Highlander can use that Nautilus ultimate and dredge line to just try and control the fights a little bit more. So I think it all depends on how well the Flying Mariachis can control these fights with their varied amount of CC.
Yes, now just to get the last touches. It's not sadly going to be the mid lane Nautilus, but it's still gonna be on the top lane, so it's gonna be very good, bringing up a lot of tankiness to the whole team comp, which actually needs it, because you kinda need to. It's like picking up Vayne. It's like a variation of Protect the Kokma combo, but it's
Definitely.
on Protect the Vayne.
Well, that's what you kind of need to do with these sort of Juggernaut comps. Is you just pick a high potential carry ADC who can just, if you get enough shields and enough of peel for them, then you can just absolutely obliterate teams. And something like a Vayne works very well as sort of like a substitute for that Kog'Maw. So I think it's a good pick.
Almost what comes to mind is Vayne is a hyper carry in the way, but there's something about the playstyle of Vayne. It brings up like a word assassin AE carry comes to mind of what Vayne could be if it gets really rolling, because he can just set up those assassin plays in the enemy jungle somewhere where it's unwarded, and really getting those nice set plays on Vayne.
Yeah, definitely. You can get some insane movement speed, combining that with the Whimsy and her Night Hunter passive. It could be very interesting to see how fast she can get up to. Could see Quinn levels of movement speed.
Alright, so you see the struggle on your screen. At the moment, I think it is reversed, so the 83% that you see on the screen is not for the Flying Mariachis, but they are for the 3 Hana instead. So you guys really thinking that 3 Hana will be the ones that are gonna pick up the win with this one? And they'll actually quite need it, because they sit almost at the bottom of the table with half of the season already gone, and they really want to make that top 6 to make into the playoffs. Currently they sit on 0 points. They have 1 draw, but because they were one time they were a no-show, so they lost a point from that. So that's the reason that they have 0 points, even though they have a draw in their account. But if they would win, they would jump all the way to the 7th place.
Definitely, and that would certainly be a nice little boot to them to pick up a win today. But we'll have to see with these teams. We'll have to see which side can really come out on top because they both have their own sort of conditions set out in stone, and we'll have to see which one can execute their playstyle better.
Indeed, we're now into the loading screen, and this is the part where I think you're gonna like the Keystone Masteries.
I do like to see the Keystone Masteries because it always is questionable sometimes as to what people decide to go with. But we're going to see sort of standard Keystones coming out. A little bit interesting from Brown picking up the Strength of the Ages for that increased health. Alistair going with Bond of Stone as opposed to Wind Speakers. But apart from that, fairly standard with Fervor of Battle on the AD carries, Thunderlords on the mid lane. In the jungle, we've got Thunderlords on Elise wanting to go for that higher aggression route, whereas Nidalee is rocking the Strength of the Ages for a little bit extra tank. To be fair, she doesn't need the extra early game pressure. She's already a monster in herself. And Grasp the Undying on those top laners who are just going to sort of be kind of a bomb fest of just slapping each other and trading out those grasps.
Alright, that's some very in-game depth analysis coming in. I love it. We're just gonna wait for a little bit longer. We're gonna get into the game, and here we go. Just gonna swap over to the game so the viewers can also see it, and there you go on your screens. Flying Mariachis on the blue side. We have Highlander on the top lane, Mino English in the jungle, Nuri playing the mid lane Lulu, and the bottom lane of Miyu and SLB. And the other side of Trihana, we have Austin and Sam, who is a substitute for Trihana on the top lane. Vinci in the jungle, Cress mid lane, Traplord and Kittler rocking that bottom side of the map. And we have a visual bug. Actually, the stream is not showing the game, so if you can just step over a little bit, I try to locate the issue.
That's no worries. I mean, to be fair, you're not actually missing that much at the minute because the teams are sort of just sticking it out in their respective sides of the jungle. We do see Elise hovering around that top side, so we're probably going to see Krug and Gromp start from the bot lanes, and Nidalee going to start on those Krugs, setting up the traps nicely on the top side around various points so that she'll not miss out on too much. Minions have spawned, and they are just walking towards the middle. It's kind of like a radio show now, isn't it, Grang? Got to imagine it.
Yeah, trying to do some... See, this is the wonders of casting and also streaming at the same time.
Yeah. Definitely. They're just going to start off. We're just going to see, as spoken about, bot lanes doing their respective camps and going to head straight to lane. Neither side going to really be too much of a disadvantage. Obviously, Freakuna do get a slight speed increase because they start on the good side of taking Gromp first, and they don't miss a single CS as Traplord walks in, piercing light, and picks up everything. Early level 2 picked up, and they're just gonna hover around. Hitler is hanging about looking for the potential flash pulverize headbutt, but even if he did, there wouldn't be too much pressure, and so he's gonna go in for a little bit of a combo. SLB caught out a little bit. Oh, but it turns out you're caught out now, Kittler, as he gets a passive popped by Brown. And he's just gonna trade it back. They're not able to do too much damage without those silver bolts. And it looks like teams are just gonna sort of hang around a little bit. No one gonna really pressure anywhere in particular. The interesting thing to point out, though, is that the top lane started Corrupting Potion on the side of Malphite, whereas Highlander just went for a Doran's Ring, just wanting to sort of sustain out with that passive, getting as much mana as possible that he can from minions while just going in. Early gank coming from Mino English, who does land a combo, and passive popped onto Kittler, and Vinci comes in. Kittler does go down as a first blood for Mino English. Gank comes in, Vinci goes down in response to Muyu as SLB goes down as well to Traplord. ADC's getting a little bit of power behind them. Mino English still going on Traplord, who's really low, and a flash out from Mino English saves them on 1 HP, and Traplord does indeed go down in the end. So a trade of 3-1 to the Flying Mariachis, who are going to be happy enough with that, taking out the bot, ADC, and jungle just for the support in response. And Vayne with 2 kills early is a scary thought, to say the least. How's it going, Grang?
Okay, so I managed to find the problem. It was a game capture issue, which I have now resolved. Sadly, there's not going to be any overlay, so it's going to look a little bit rough, and okay, you can see the mouse, so that's a little bit better.
There we go. Excellent.
But, yeah, alright, so we're all into the game. See, already 3 kills have gone over the Flying Mariachis.
Yeah, and while we're in that...
Wait.
Yeah, and while we were in that break, a solo kill did come out on the top side of Aussie Sam getting caught out by Highlander. He's able to combo out with that Doran's Ring, able to just put that extra bit of pressure down, and does pick up a Bammy Cinder on his first back. And he's just going to walk back to lane, keep that TP, which Aussie Sam had to burn, and potentially can use that for a possible dragon fight at bottom, who, obviously, you've got your strong side of bottom right now, who has a double buff Vayne, which is scary in its own, but also has a Vamp Scepter and Longsword in comparison to the double Longsword of Traplord.
Yeah, he's really... You could say he's really safe in lane now, because if he gets poked down, he can just use that lifesteal to get all the health back. So, it gives a little bit more freedom for SLB to make some bit of plays, like somewhere around the mid lane possibly, as Chris gets like a little bit low from the Borderlands, but with no Ignite on Nuri, it's not really any danger of him getting taken down.
Yeah, Mino English was hanging around that top side, but he's not able to really do anything. Vinci coming in, as Flash comes off, Highlander's a little bit in the wrong here, as he gets jumped by Vinci, missing the spear, so not able to follow up, unfortunately, and that could have really been horrible for Highlander, who's just hit 6, so he has the death charge available.
Oh, my!
Unlucky by Nuri there to knock it, and lovely condemn coming out of Muyu to knock Kittler away, so he can't combo.
Let's take a bit of down drop or tries to dash in for a bit of more damage as Kittler is making his move. He really wants that combo, but SLB is keeping him at bay. Mino English is coming from the riverside. He's sitting in that rush, but the lane is gonna push against him, so it's gonna be a hard gank to pull off. Maybe just move himself to the bottom push. Nah, he just keeps up on it.
Yeah, he's just gonna head back off and farm the jungle, not able to really make anything happen. But he's already done something, so at least he's happy enough to have impacted the game slightly. Although he is getting out-farmed by Vinci, who's currently on 6 CS ahead, and he's already backed. Got that Amp Tome and his Tracker's Knife in comparison to the Trackers and Boots coming from Mino English, and we're gonna have to see what kind of pressure that Vinci can put on to try and relieve these lanes who are currently a little bit behind.
Yeah, Mino English is really trying to make some plays. Miyu are baiting in engage from Kitter. There's a Ignite actually, and Mino English just takes it with a brute force. And that's already the 5th kill going over to Flying Mariachis.
Yeah, definitely. Mino English coming in just at the end, just to make sure he secures that kill there from Muyu. I mean, you've got to give him some credit. He's in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's all you really need to have from your jungler. Just the right play. In the right place.
Yeah, well played by Mino English to get to the bottom side, although not also well played by SLB to go aggressive onto Kittler, who's currently 0-2 and not having a really fun time. Still hasn't hit that level 6 point, so isn't able to get out of the CC of Braum, and gonna get a little bit tough for them to really make anything happen against this Vayne, who's got the final hour now and is gonna be happy enough to go back with her gold that she's accrued of 1,200. Gonna probably finish off that. I would assume she's just going for the standard Blade of the Ruined King build, so probably going to pick up that Bilgewater Cutlass, or maybe even go for the Recurve Bow, just to get the passive procs a little bit better, but I'll have to see what she decides to go for as she stops her recall on the bot side.
Yeah, doesn't look like he's gonna go for the attacks because he's already got the long sword with the Vampiric Scepter, so he's only needing that 200 gold to finish off the Bilgewater Cutlass. But
True.
what I really wanna tap on is that, yeah, you mentioned that Kitter is 0 and 2 with not already 9 minutes into the game. Would that really work badly as a mindset, as a playing as an Alistar with Lucian against the Vayne? Like he really feels like the responsibility for him is to try to get the combo onto Vayne, so it's easier for Trapward just trying to get the kill before Vayne gets rolling.
Yes, you. Oh, and I'm gonna get interrupted as a package mid.
Flash Cocoon, but glanced right off. And Crest is out of it. Even walks right back. So no worries, no more CC gonna come up.
Yeah, exactly, and there is always going to be a point in a player's mind where you've got to be worried and feel like there's some kind of responsibility on you to make plays, but against this Vayne who's already getting strong, and their entire point of this composition is to get this Vayne rolling and keep her relevant in this game, but 6 hit by Kittler, and there's nothing on SLB who's going to potentially go down from the Ignite.
He's coming up from the top lane, Trapward of the Kipstar, and Mew is gonna pick up the kill on the team. Now Nordeus is going to propose, but Mew has taken very low. Is it gonna go down? Also in the one swap, and that's gonna be shotgun kill going over to the Malphite. And now where is the is gonna be? Nori is also in the fight. There's a lot for go to the Nordeus, but he's taken so low. Rushes away from harm's way, and now Nori has to run home. Enters top 3 Hana, but they're still looking to fight. They get the look. Alistar, and that's another kill going over by Mariachis. And they're just cleaning house. That's an unofficial ace, as Trapward has already respawned.
Yeah, and that was a really messy fight from the side of Frihuna, who just felt like they didn't really know what to do in that case, because they just sort of they did a really nice TP play coming from Malphite and able to turn on the Vayne, who did go down in the end, but just not really able to do anything afterwards. Good culling coming out from Trapward.
Oh, he got the kill. Got the kill, but hey,
yeah, does get obliterated in the end though by Mino English and Highlander, who chained the CC and damage on top. And this 404 Elise is really putting in the work already.
That's also something. Oh, Flash from Vinci. He's looking for the Highlander. He's gonna get him. He was recoiling on a ward. Vinci is still looking for English. Nat has a red buff. I think he's gonna go for it. Instead tries to bounce over the killers, but he's not able to. So Mino English is very confident going at the ring. SLB comes through, and there's also Kitter, get boss, and combos him. Vinci is gonna get away from this. But Cortez in the back line, there he comes, and he's gonna get an assist on the Elise. Before SLB, but Mew is looking to change the tides. Here comes Nuri, also come back from the base. Looking for Kitter possibly. And has to flash over the red buff side.
Yeah, nice flash there, but Frost Queen's Claim coming out, gonna slow down Crash.
Yeah, gets slowed down, and then having to flash away also. Kitter actually holding his nerves, just sitting in the crush. Just waiting, just seeing if the Flying Mariachis were gonna go deep on the Crash.
Did have the Unbreakable Wall available, so could have escaped if necessary, and he's gonna look to combo, but no. Always sad.
That's actually a nice way of how Vayne works against Alistar. It's almost like a straight ADC counter to support.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the Condemn works really well against that headbutt potential, and does pretty much mean that Kittler's gonna struggle to really do anything, but it does require some really good reactions from Muyu to be able to stop that. If it's like a point-blank headbutt combo though, then, you know, it's a little bit harder to juke out. Passive gets proc, but Vinci's coming in here as well as Mino English.
And Mino takes a big shot from the javelin toss. But already 300 are disengaging from that one. Nori is also disengaged. Looking for Vinci now. Gets slow, but with the lance, Corky tries to fight a little bit with the rockets. And just not hitting. They have to disengage from the enemy jungle now. Will they get collapsed on? Kitter is sitting in the front, but he gets spotted by the ward. But when the stun is onto him, and he gets stunned, but there's Unbreakable Will. He's gonna get away from the Mio, just really wanted to go on this. But
playing really aggressive, but he's got the ability to do that because he is fairly strong right now. He's almost finished his Blade of the Rune King, and he's happy to just keep on going because he's got that Lulu from Nuri here who can just keep shielding him. Spookies go out, but Ooh, and there it is, the slow as well, and that's going to be an easy pickup. And again over to Mino English, who's now 5-1 and 5.
Yeah, Keeper really doing the support way of just headbutting Miu away, just to make sure Trap Ward doesn't go down.
Well, it's hard to tell which one's the support here, because the Brown with 3 kills as well, not being afraid to take them from his carries. But better dead than fled, as I always say.
Yeah. As long as you help your teammates survive, that's the ultimate support way.
Definitely. And Muyu finishing off that Blade of the Ruined King, going to be such a horrible force now, able to really do some damage onto this onto Ozyman Sam Malphite on Kittler's Alistair in these who scales so well off health, and that's only going to get worse as time goes on. And Ozyman Sam picking up an early A just to try and cut out some of the AP damage coming out from this triple AP of Lulu, Elise, and Norless.
What are they gonna do now instead of flying 300 actually? 4k go down, and over half of their kills.
Well, they've really got to try and... They've got to try and not get caught in these cases, and they're going to try and make a pick in this top side.
He's gonna go down first, finally his kill on first board. Might even get a second one, or he finishes off Vinci's meanwhile as Nutters has run from the top lane all the way to get a kill onto the rest of the mid lane, but that leaves Miu alone in the bottom lane. And he's gonna go down finally. Getting some gold back from the vein.
You getting caught so far up because he was confident that he could win the trade, but actually Traplord is slightly ahead in gold now because of the way he's been sort of laning. He's got a head in CS by 20 now. He's also going to deny a lot of CS into this turret after Muyu going down, so going to pull himself further and further ahead, and Traplord's actually doing a really nice job on this Lucian.
Coming up, and that's going to be from Nuri to save the bottom lane turret. But there's nobody from 300 in the mid lane, so they can push that mid lane down instead. So it was a good rotation of play, as now he's coming back to the mid lane just to protect it. But I'm not sure if that was worth it. Like, okay, you didn't lose anything, but you still used a TP to just save a turret. That's an outcome. That's all it on. There's a lot of damage happening. Just please save him first. Just keep him alive. The rest comes from the other side of the Unbreakable. You know, SLB is trying to run away from Vinci. Gets 7. He's gonna hit, but he's not gonna go under the turret to get the kill onto the SLB.
Yeah, Vinci, don't follow that jump because that would have certainly been your doom, jump diving SLB under turret. Mid turret is taken in response though, so doing a good job to move around, and oh dear, crash.
Now that's a pick coming up. Just
definitely. I mean, you see the mid lane going down, and you've got to kind of be a little bit careful going on your own because if a lovely cocoon there.
Too much distance between them, so they can really follow it up, and with Ozyman standing there, really know the danger of diving.
Yeah, definitely, but as I was saying, Crash not really respecting that potential that they could just walk up from the mid, because they weren't even that far away, so...
Looking on the trap ward, no Kidwood there, so that's basically a revenge of what happened to Miu just a few minutes later. Being killed by the dual lanes of Trapward and Kitter, and now the roles have been swapped. The killed has become the killer.
Yeah, and that Banner of Command minion in the mid is going to be able to start putting some serious damage onto the mid turret as they siege it up while Muyu and Highlander take the dragon, and going to take the mid turret as well. A lovely objective pick coming out of the side of Flying Mariachis, who are doing such a good job of moving around this map and playing to their advantages. There's a lot of teams who don't really pressure objectives enough when they get a small pick here and there, and they just don't really pressure as well as this, which is nice to see.
What a coordinate that we live in, where supports and top laners actually rush Banner of Command.
Yeah. double banner of command. Hey, we'll see Zeroth soon as well, I'm sure.
Well, Ozyman is doing it that way. He's got the... Multi-members of flying mariachis, and they might be looking to kill Ozyman somehow. Fresh not getting a whole lot of damage in that instead. Broke down. Mino English is going to secure the kill onto the trap ward. Mew might get Fresh, and he does. Highlander gets a hook on the killer, and he's going to secure another kill. 4 men already down from 3 Hana.
It's so unfortunate. It feels like this game is pretty much in the bag for the Flying Mariachis. A beautiful knock-up from Ozyman Sam, landing that nice ultimate over the wall, but they weren't able to burst out Muyu or anybody on the side of the Flying Mariachis, who were just able to stay alive and just sustain out the fight, and then turn it around with the mass amount of damage that they can pump out with this Vayne, who's now 5-2 and 6.
Systematical destruction comes to mind when looking at this game, because the timer is only now gonna hit 20 minutes. And they got an inhibitor.
Yeah, and to be fair, Mino English going so ham as well. That's what's really going to be putting the pressure on, because he's just diving the back line 24/7. 7-2 and 11 now. Like, that is insane. 19 out of the 22 kills he has been involved in. Like, that kind of kill participation is what really makes you a standout player, and he's really putting in the biscuits this game.
Just quick math, if anybody started him on the fantasy roster, he's gotten 29 points. Anyone who started him Saturday, there is no Vespyr fantasy league. As Miyu is called out, a typical solo kill lane break, just farming up the lane all alone, and then getting died by 4 members.
And speaking of points, if you've currently got a Vayne spotting sheet, you just got some nice points there as Mino English gets caught. Wildgrowth does go out, but turn around the fight a little bit.
Getting through with the TP, the hook just barely not landing on the Vici.
Yep, Nautilus hitbox is not balked enough to be able to land that dredge line, unfortunately, for Flying Mariachis, but Rahuna are going to be happy enough with that, getting 1 pick at least, and then able to sort of keep their lanes alive for now. But really starting to feel the heat as the Flying Mariachis keep pushing in, and look at this, Highlander just no fear, just hitting the Raptors. Gotta be a little bit careful though, because that is a package on Corki who goes in.
He wants that shutdown kill, but he doesn't quite get it. Rappler also tries to get it, but he doesn't. He's not able to do that. Instead, takes the ultimate's front death charge, and he's ignited. He's gonna go down, and he's gonna pick up that kill. The Glacial Feature on the 2 members, they're both gonna melt, and that's another 4-man going down from 3 Hana.
Yeah, and that is the surrender coming out, and I don't blame them, because that was the reason why that game was going so horribly for them. They fire everything they can into the Flying Mariachis, and they're just not able to pick anybody out. Mino English didn't go down in that fight, and then the rest of the team was fairly high health as everybody just filtered in to just get taken out. Some really nice chains from CC though, able to cut off Traplord's culling and every bit of damage that he tried to use, but really well played by Flying Mariachis to take a commanding 1 in this series.
Yeah, indeed, we'll see if 3 Hana is able to at least get a draw against the Flying Mariachis, as we're gonna be back just in a few.
reach the end, will you wait for me? Holding out a torch that's lighting up the way. I can't run and I can't crawl, but as soon as I scale your castle walls, I'll try to find you. 'Cause I know I see it all tonight. Oh, I see it all tonight. I watch you come to life. I feel the world around us. I see it all tonight. When you reach the end, will you wait for me? Holding out a torch that's lighting up the way. I can't run and I can't crawl, but as soon as I scale your castle walls, I'll try to find you. 'Cause I know I see it all tonight. Oh, I see it all tonight. I watch you come to life. I feel the world around
And hello everybody, and welcome back to see the second game between 3 Hana and the Flying Mariachis, as we're already into the champion selection ban.
Yeah, definitely taking such a commanding lead there from the side of the Flying Mariachis, though, who did such a good job of pressing their advantages where necessary, and being able to just mainly stay alive in these fights, which was impressive in its own right, considering the amount of damage that was coming out of Frahuna.
And we've already said and Nivea being banned out, so are those Flying Mariachis, they're flexing a little bit their bans? Like, thinking that Chris would do some serious work on that set if he got the chance.
Yeah, well, seeing that Lulu taken away straight away on Nuri, they're just trying to, sort of stick with something a little bit different, and as such they're coming out with the response of taking away something that Crush might potentially break out to sort of try something different from last game, because last game he did okay, but it just felt like there was something a little bit lacking, in the sense that they just couldn't finish it off, and maybe they felt that Zed might have potentially came out on Crash, but Trundle getting locked in by Aussieman Sam, and he is such a painful top laner at the minute, able to really duke it out with those heavy armor stacking top laners, and just generally such a horrible split push threat when he gets going.
Yeah, what would be a good response? Would preferably be possibly an AP top laner to go against the Trundle?
There's the potential. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's also nothing really right about it, because it depends on what kind of AP top laner that you bring to try and counter that. Lissandra would be good to be able to just lock somebody down, but it really depends on what the enemy team composition looks like as it goes along. So they go for the safe bet of just locking in a strong bot lane of Braum and Callister, able to really do some work.
Yeah, sadly it's not the Callister, but it is... hold on, I know this. It's a Kairam lane.
Close enough. I don't know whether you can use that one, Graham.
It's mine, so I'm going with it. So the Kairam is locked in for the Flying Mariachis this game, and we're gonna see if they can really make that work. This Dresh is now at least one half of the 3 Hana's bottom lane. Solution is open. Is open. So many AD carries that are open.
Yeah, definitely, and they're trying to sort of flex it out and leave it to the end by just saying sort of, well, we can go with something stronger, but what we want right now is we want to take away that Gragas, because he is such a horrible jungler in the sense that he can just do so much damage, and we'll have to see what he can bring to this, because we've seen it to great effect in professional play, and after the buffs he does clear relatively well, and with the ability of that movement speed he gains from Runeglaive, he can be such a massive gank and threat, and able to just really split apart this team. I mean, if you can get see, now you've got me thinking about the Callister. It's if you get the Callister into your own team and split her away from this Braum, from this Elise, and whoever the mid laner will be in the end, it could really do just instantly win a fight for you.
Already on the last week the 3 Hanas, LeBlanc is locked in for Crash. So not quite the AD assassin, but the next best thing, an AP assassin coming up. So they're on the side of Flying Mariachis. Quicksilver Sash is a must-buy item now.
Yep, definitely. I mean, the just CC that will come out is just gonna really just obliterate whoever gets caught, and we'll have to see what they decide to pick up in this mid lane though to counter this LeBlanc, and it could potentially just be the Corki. Corki does have a fairly decent lane against LeBlanc, does bring a lot of that at mixed damage, which they do kind of need at this point, being fairly AD heavy, depending on how Mino English decides to go. As we saw last game, did go a little bit mental with this Elise pick, who does go through once more.
seconds to go to lock in that last champion. I don't think it will be Corky. Like, I think it's gonna be a flat-out AP champion. But if they can come to a decision of what AP champion to go, they might just go with the Corky instead.
I think it's perfectly fine to pick Corky. I mean, he does bring a lot of poke that comes out, and he is such a good champion. He's one of those sort of jack of all trades champions where he can do pretty much any role that you want, and he does bring a lot. Once he hits that Triforce Soak Boots 2 items, he can just destroy so much, and we'll have to see how he plays against Crash in this mid lane though, because Nuri did have a fairly favourable lane, but he was sort of breaking even for a while, and we'll have to see how the change of champions will affect that as time goes on. But this lane in the bot side of Fresh and Jin gonna be pretty horrible.
Yeah, we actually didn't touch as it was getting locked in, but it is the Jin, and that could also be the first Jin that's being played in the Premier League. Again, I could be wrong as I don't have the full list of the champions played currently at the Premier League, but it's a safe bet that it's the first Jin.
Yeah, definitely, and gonna have to see how well he plays it though, because we've seen a mix of Jins where sometimes he can be this really well played, just destructive machine who just systematically hits all these lovely crits that he gets off that 4th shot, and then sometimes he just brings up the ultimate and he gets that perfect snipe where you can just get a thread the needle and hit that guy in the backline who's got 1 health on him. But sometimes you get that Jin who just sort of pulls up the ultimate and everybody walks away, and they're out the fight, and he misses everything and just becomes basically an immobile carry who can't really be to much effect. So we'll have to see how well Traplord can pull this off. Was fairly good on Lucian though, able to do a lot of work in the previous game, so we'll have to see whether a more favourable start in this game will lead to better results on the side of Frahuna.
Yeah, at least against Jin, Braum works pretty well, because if Jin uses that curtain call, he's gonna just have the Unbreakable and he's gonna block those shots. So he won't get the long range Caitlyn ulti snipes.
This is true, but there's still the potential for outplay, because it is a fairly long time that he can sit in it. So he has the ability to wait out, pick different targets, and even if the case comes to it, then he can still just shoot Braum for the extra damage.
Or I'm just thinking like a very long way ahead, but
yeah.
If SLB uses that Unbreakable during the curtain call and he gets shot with it, Trapboard could think that SLB is blocking the way onto the AD carry, but Miyu could be like pulling off a mind trick and he's actually opposite side of the lane, like he's walking across the, like hugging the wall.
Although that sounds like some insane mind games that they could play there, I think it would be a little bit more detrimental in the possible chance that they just get vision through something like a blue trinket, or just someone spots Miyu away and he just basically goes, "Oh, there you are," and shoots him anyway. So it's a little bit tricky to really make that one work, so gonna have to take that one away from you there, Grang, because I don't know whether that one will pan out to great success.
Well, if when the Unbreakable finally expires and he's still in the curtain call, and then he'll just be an easy target because he uses the SLB as a landmark of where to shoot.
Yeah.
He's thinking that he's directly in front of him. So I'm not taking it fully back, because I know there is some logic to it.
Yeah, we'll have to see what does come out, how this plays out. But I think it would be a bit of a fringe case, nonetheless. We do start loading into the loading screen, so we're going to start to see these Keystone Masteries, and I expect it to be a fairly standard page. SLB still sticking out with that Strength of the Ages on Brown. We see the Bond of Stone still on Kittler, and Traplord bringing out the Deathfire Touch for Jin. Interesting pickup, is fairly popular actually on Jin's. Quinn in the top lane is rocking that Fervor of Battle, so going to be bringing out that better scaling AD into the late game, so gonna try and stay relevant as time goes on, but Thunderlord's on both those mid laners, and just a generally fair start from both sides as we load into the Rift.
Alright, so game 2. 3 Hana on the blue side with flying mariachis. God, I love that name. On the red side. And there we go. Champions are leaving their base. They're gonna enter the jungle. They're gonna probably try to defend their entrances, or they're either gonna go for an invade in the jungle.
Looks like Freehuna are actually assembling for a bot lane invade. Or they're just gonna sort of have a little party by Krugs, and then a sort of conga line into this bot lane bush and look for a possible invade. Here they go.
There we go. SLB
Oh,
is actually really
SLB!
good. Yeah, the hook has to flash away immediately, so that's already a flash burn. And that could signal for Vinci, just get the buffs and come for an early gank.
Yeah, definitely. It does bring out a little bit of steam from SLB and Muyu, who did play so aggressively last game, and they just got so much confidence in their own play that they could just keep pushing in again and again and again. Sometimes it did prove to be Muyu's downfall as he got caught out here and there, but overall it did mean that it put Traplord and Kittler just so far behind. Kittler just not able to really make anything happen in that matchup, so we'll have to see how this will affect us in this game. And Highlander just going to get a nice Harrier proc onto Aussie Man, who's just going to sort of say, ow, and walk off to the top lane.
Just waiting until the monster creeps are gonna spawn and we can get the Jungler's game underway. As well, mid laners, they're gonna start their games a little bit earlier. Next to those minion waves. And this is the farming games.
Yeah, so for the bot side, we see Muyu and SLB do start with the Gromp, and Traplord and Kittler don't, so they're just gonna leash for Vinci and then just head off into the bot side. No, one creep missed on the side of Flying Mariachis, so not a massive loss really in the end. Able to play that one nicely, and they'll hit this level 2 earlier, which is gonna be a really nice boon to them, as Muyu does hit 2 now.
Experience advantage that he's gotten. Maybe I think the pushing the lane would be not optimal for them. They want the lane to be pushing against them as long as SOB will get the flash back, and then those can start pushing the wave back.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying about Jin in the first game's champion select, is that he can be such an oppressive early laner, able to do a lot of damage, able to throw out that grenade with early for extra damage, and that crit can be so horrible. Nice stack there, as they do a little bit of aggressive trading. Not able to really burn anything too yet though.
Actually very close to Mew instead. So SLB really doing his work, just body blocking all the hooks that are gonna come.
Yeah, gotta be careful though, because if the damage was traded back onto SLB early. Oh!
Vinci gets found by a Harrier in the jungle, but gets away, doesn't even have to burn a flash. And he might find I really want the fight. Doesn't look like he wants it, as takes it very well. After Ortigon pushes the vault, does get some distance, but there's flash already from Aziman Slam. This could be a first blood, but the camera is on to Nuri. He's looking for Vinci instead. There's the first blood, it's gonna come, but it goes to the Vinci instead. What
yeah, so there is a first blood, but it's not on the one you would expect, as Highlander's able to escape on a little bit of health, but Nuri is caught out in that rotation. Aggressive play onto Traplord, who does get passive proc.
Oh, nice. Just stacking out CC, and Traplord is down. Shin has been shut down.
Yeah, and Mino English is just being he doesn't like Traplord or something because he's been camping the spot lane in both games now, aggressively coming in and able to just pick them up as they burn the summoner of Traplord, able to burn that flash out, and Kittler having to flash as well. So gonna potentially see more ganks coming down on this bot side, but I don't think you'll want to be too hopeful about that because Muyu's already got an advantage. Almost double the CS of Traplord, sitting a lovely 31 to 18. And he's just going to pick up a few items, going for the same start as last game with Vamp Scepter and Longsword, and just going to walk back to lane. So a nice start coming out from Flying Mariachis, but that catch in the middle on Nuri was not optimal, giving away that first blood to Vinci.
I could kind of understand of the catch on the top side. So Ozzy was trying to flash to get the kill on the Queen, and Vinci was coming up like he was gonna secure the kill. But then there's the sandwich coming through from Nuri.
Yeah.
And just picking up the kill on the low health. It's just shooting fish in a barrel. Express jumps in, insists they throw a chain. Comes to the mid lane, doesn't get good hook. That's a hook though on the Mino English is very low. Not even burning onto him. He's sure he's gonna go down, and Nuri is gonna get the kill onto him.
Interesting by Kittler to come mid there though. He does come for the roam, but he doesn't actually have flash up still. So when the counter comes through from Mino, I mean, it's just instantly dead really, and just a little bit questionable there. And doing a good job on the side of Flying Mariachis to capitalize on these mistakes from Frihuna.
Feels like inside of Kitter went mid lane, tried roaming, didn't work. So it's just gonna keep you laning phase probably now.
Yep. A little bit of free harass there from Crush, able to do that double distortion onto Nuri, but Nuri's pretty comfortable just laning at the minute because he has a fair amount of damage that he can pump out with those Foss Bombs and the ultimate that he can just keep firing out those rockets. Highlander just going to keep pushing in Aussie Man Sam, but Aussie Man is going to be okay with that because at least it means he's probably not going to die.
So yeah, it's actually more interesting to see how these players on the side of Trihana are actually going to operate, because there was a lane swaps, like almost half of the players Hitler is listed as a jungler. He's playing support, so they put Vinci from the top lane to the center, and Asuna is just a substitute. Just gonna see how that's gonna work with this kind of struggle. Plus can get stunned up and he's just taken down. That's how you kill an AD carry on lane.
Yeah, definitely. Well played there on the side of Flying Mariachis once again, going aggressive nicely and able to trade out when, to be fair, that was a slight misplay. Ooh, flash body slam does come through.
Yeah, but no explosive cast on Crackers, but it doesn't matter because Ozyman Sam is gonna get the kill onto Highlander.
It's so sad when you don't have flash up, so you have to sort of accept the attacks that are coming, but your opponents don't actually have any abilities to finish you off, so they have to sort of slap you to death over a very long period of time as they chase you down. So just able to secure that kill onto Highlander in the end, and it's going to give Ozyman a little bit of breathing space in this top lane. He's just going to be able to close the CS gap a little bit. He is now even on gold. In fact, slightly ahead by a couple of hundred after that kill comes through, and I think this is slightly favouring Frihuna right now, as they're able to get the lanes that they want and try and start. It's certainly a better start than last game, where they had lost a lot onto a Vayne who just kept snowballing. I think Jin will be able to survive this early game a little bit easier as they transition into the mid. But we'll have to see how Muyu comes out here as he starts heading towards that Blade of the Ruined King, pretty much mirroring his build from last game on Vayne. And we'll have to see how this one plays out. Kittler just clearing away a pink ward in that bot side, but Muyu is going to come in and say, hey, that's my pink ward, as he throws down a couple of spears. Could go aggressive. He does have Fate's Call and the Glacial Fissure.
Fate's Call just boosts him away and disengage, and they converted that into an engage instead. Curtain Call was being shot, but not too much damage didn't come through. Press also coming from the mid lane, Nuri has to use the package just to disengage in the fight. And Highlander is the only one that's still on his lane, on the top lane. He's pushing that turret and he's gonna get it.
Yeah, really nice read there by Flying Mariachis, just to say no, we don't want to commit everything to this. Highlander, just stay top and take out that turret as we pressure on the bot side, because Nuri is down here looking towards this dragon with Mino English. No, he's just going to head into the mid lane as Mino English goes into the bot side to start clearing out that Gromp, and just going to see a little bit of pressure equalised as Highlander does take out that turret in the end. Ozyman Sam not able to get back to lane in time because of that TP to the bot side. And interesting play there as they go aggressive. The most interesting thing I feel that we've seen from both of these games is that every time Frihuna go in, it feels like the Flying Mariachis have the perfect way to sort of disengage and then immediately turn back around at the right time. As the Fate's Call takes Braum out, and then they just go straight back in because they're so confident that they're able to just turn it back in. And if there was a little bit more damage, that could have went a lot horribler for Frihuna, if that's a word.
Horribler.
A lot worse to say.
It is
Horribler.
now. You gotta go with it like I did with the Kalistrum. Kalistrum!
I prefer Brawlister myself.
We'll see how it picks off. I think it's still, you gotta go with the A carry first and then support. He goes into Crash, but Vinci is in the background, but he just uses the ultimate, just disengage Highlander away from Crash. And Crash is gonna walk away with just about 400 health left.
Good enough though. It means that he doesn't get caught, which is nice. Doesn't have to burn any summoners as well, which is going to be really good as they siege up here. Fairly horrible siege comp though, coming out from Nuri, able to just fire out those rockets into the mid. You do see Vinci coming in.
Has the flash away for the damage that's gonna come. Big rocket almost be enough to finish off Ozyman Sam, but I think the subjugate was actually saving.
Yeah. Yeah, subjugate give him just enough life to keep him alive, and a lovely hook turn back around on SLB, who does get caught by the bot.
Yeah, correct. Incinerate on the face call, push him away out of the curtain call. That's how you do it. And Miu takes the rest of the shot, but there comes Vinci. Go on this. Vinci doesn't have ultimate available, but he still connects with the flash, but he still flashes away, but Dragwar flashes in and gets a double kill under the turret.
Beautiful play there. A nice flash body slam coming out of Vinci, who didn't have his ult available, so he did have to do that. And then a nice follow from Traplord, able to just pick up both kills, and everyone just a lot more synergy that we weren't seeing really from that previous game, as Frihuna managed to pull off a really nice catch onto the Flying Mariachis.
Yeah, indeed, it's just really making the best out of it. All the ultimates were burned, so I know I think Miu actually had this flash away, but not just Trap Wars was like, oh, you can flash? Guess what I can do? Flash!
You can flash, I can flash better, is what he said as he jumped forward and managed to land that lovely crit onto him. Able to pull him out. I did think that there was the potential that they were just going to get away in the end there, but able to pick it up, and it's nice, is all I'm going to say, because I feel that Frihuna's comp is just... It's one of those teams where you kind of want them to sort of get a little bit further in the game to see how it plays out in this mid-game, because it could easily snowball out of control if they fell too far behind, but getting Traplord those 2 kills does make him a little bit more of a threat. Having this mobile carry, death sentence, followed up with the root.
But still actually gets it. Miu gets a kill, and there is the team fight has been turned around. This now has to run away from this island because another kill on the Trapboard, and Ozyman Sam is going to be the next target. As Mino English finishes on Peter, and that's an ace coming up from Mariachis.
Wow.
What happened?
That escalated from 2 level of intensity to 10 in a matter of seconds. I didn't even realize that it was going to be an ace because it was just so spread out. Crash got caught by Nuri in the top side and a lovely catch in the bottom. Vinci able to go in as well as Kittler to try and get SLB, but a lovely turnaround from Muyu and the rest to be able to really pick him out. Highlander did a nice TP to come down and catch Traplord on the backside, and just in the end, it's a lovely play for coming out of the Flying Mariachis, able to pick up an entire team of members, and not able to take a dragon because it's not up, unfortunately, but able to pick up another turret as well.
Flying Mariachis present how to go from down 2k up to 7k in just 1 minute.
Is
available near all locations.
pretty much an astronomical turnaround, I must say.
If that was the famous switch, I think Flying Mariachis just tried it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what does this do? Oh, hello.
But once again, this is what we were saying before: is every time that Frihuna go in for these picks, it just feels like the Mariachis just disengage, pull it away, pretty much no health, because every time you look, they're always on about 100 between them, and then they're able to just turn around with the mass amount, with this lead that they've slowly accumulated now. Well, they didn't have a lead at the time, but they had the damage increase because they had the Blade of the Rune King finished on Muyu, and there wasn't really anything from Traplord. He doesn't have that Infinity Edge just yet. Good pick, Death Sentence on Inuri.
But the package is gonna pull him away. It's actually interesting, spell-wise, because Nuri went for Nexus instead of Cleanse. As Cleanse gets recruited in the mid-lane execute well, but he just jumps away as Nuri tries to get some, maybe a miracle kill thanks to the Hex Tech rockets.
Mino English getting to that point again where he can just sort of go as ham as he likes because he can just get the kills, and picking up Earth Highlander in the top could potentially see him go down.
Yeah, he's very low, going down, but the kill goes over to the Jumbo instead. The Crash would have benefited way more of that kill.
True, but once again, it's better to just get the kills at this point when you're behind than try to be picky and potentially have somebody get away based off some kind of miracle. But at the same time, really nicely played because they do get rid of that Rift Herald buff and able to get another kill onto Traplord, who's getting quite strong now. Got that Infinity Edge, and he's going to be happy enough to keep going. A lovely flash Death Sentence.
Pressure onto Murray. Vertical is hitting. It's hitting onto the Miyu in the side, so it's not connecting onto Nuri. Nuri's gonna get away. Instead, Rapport is gonna get the kill instead onto Miyu.
Ooh.
He's trying to get something here so low. Just something, anything. Just freeze or wind. Just blow at them. Something. Highlander is in the Valor form. If he gets erased, that's an execute damage that's gonna come through, so that should be a kill going out to the killer. And he gets cancelled out of it instead. He's gonna go down. He still gets the kill on the killer though. But he gets kill over to Asiman-san.
Yeah, definitely. And that's worth, to be fair. If you can trade out where you can get 1-for-1 trades and pick out these potential carries from the side of the Flying Mariachis, then it's worth enough. And it looks like they're just going to go for this dragon because there's no real pressure able to come out. Vinci and Crash are heading over. Crash is going to get spotted out by that ghost.
Watch this Crash steals it. Oh, he's not. Oh, Vinci. Okay, so there's a TP coming from Asiman's side. It's not 20 minutes, so it doesn't have home cards. So they don't get anything out of it.
Yeah,
so
just not able to really impact anything on the map. They just sort of hang around, and to be fair, most people were based and shopping at the time, so it was a nice pick from the Flying Mariachis to take the dragon while there was no one to really contest. Vinci did come through, but Explosive Cask just sort of being a little bit too late in the end, and maybe he was just trying to knock back Mino English to try and get something, but in the end it's not really going to get anything.
It was lag.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna ult it, and I'm gonna steal the dragon. Dragon dies, ult, lag.
Yeah, just it's clear. It's clearly what it is. I mean, the US has been having some problems apparently, so who knows? Maybe it was indeed lag.
Yeah, and the pause coming from Vinci, so maybe it's just one-time deal.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. It's that kind of lag that only affects one person for a split second, and
yeah,
never gets repeated ever again.
Because then nobody believes you.
Yeah, exactly. So Unfortunate. We'll put it down to lag for now, for want of a better reason.
Yeah, we'll give him that.
Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And once again, though, we're seeing these bot lanes are fairly equal, though. Muyu and Traplord have equalized in items now, and they're going to be happy enough to trade, but this is exactly the same as we saw in the previous game. His Lucian was pretty much on par with Muyu's Vayne, so we'll have to see which side can really play these team fights better. They do still have some strong pick potential coming out from this Trundle, who can split somebody apart with Vinci following up with that explosive cask and body slam, so who knows, there's the possibility there, but it looks like Kittler is on that bot side looking in Mino English, but he's just going to clear out that pink ward.
And he's inside the box, Crest drops in even more damage, but focuses on Mino English from Osiman Sam, rushes away from it, and the Crest two members inside 3 ton, and they're looking to disengage from this one. Highlander is in the top way, so he's not part of the fight. He's gonna get the turret on the top side. Finally, Mino English and Nuri are gonna hold. It's gonna be a double kill going on with Osiman Sam. And so they try to engage with the Fate's goal, but did not hit anything, and instead they have to surrender the turret.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, Crash is recalling to try and deal with that Quinn in the top lane. But Highlander's just going to back off a little bit, and I think he's just going to give this one up as he TPs into the mid lane.
Oh, what a rotational play. Baiting out Crash or somebody to recall then place, and then teleporting in the fight, but sadly it's a little bit too soon.
I feel like it was a bit of a misplay though.
Yeah, it's missed time because Nuri only now respawned. So they couldn't get the 5v4 fight that they would have wanted out of it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had managed to bring Nuri up and join in, I still think that's not really a fight that they wanted to take, because there wasn't really anything they could do with this massive amount of disengage that they can pull out. I mean, you can pretty much everyone can get out, and Traplord can throw down some nice slows, and potentially a root as well if he gets some follow-up damage first, but looking at nice package on the backside.
His half health already, but Rest is there, gets the chase, but it's on the ground. Meanwhile, 2 members, the AD carries are looking for Osiman Sam with a lot of armor. Heavy, and it goes over to the 14.
Yeah, Osiman Sam does get caught out there. Potential that they could just straight up do Baron, I feel, if they really wanted, but it looks like they're just going to push out this top wave and look to try and get a potential inhibitor out of this. If they can get these waves pushed in nicely, they do have a very nice siege comp, with Nuri able to throw out those rockets, and oh, Quinn getting caught out though.
Oh, hi, he's going to be a bit dangerous at the moment, because he's going to save him, and he's going to turn the death kill on the Traplord, because meanwhile he's going to secure the second one on the Vinci. Nuri uses the library to get over the wall, he's going to do some bit of damage on the Traplord, just forcing him out as the rest of the team is going to take that top lane, inhibited, and the inhibitor is going to follow now. And interesting.
Yeah, so they were looking to get that inhibitor, but they also pick up a few kills at the same time, so Mariachis are going to be pretty happy with that one, I feel, as they pick up 2 members of the enemy team in their own base. So, strong dive coming through there.
It's like going to Subways and then on the way finding out that Starbucks is giving out free coffee. Like the perfect shopping trip or food trip.
Yeah, so getting more than what you expected in the end.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah, so very nice.
Yeah, it always makes you happy.
A little bit of a misplay from Osiman, who does take a cheap shot from Baron, who says, "No, don't fight my penguin," and then he just says lol jokes in the end and just lets him take it. So
it's a joke, bro.
It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
Oh, I can't use that. That's copyrighted.
That's true.
Oh, little bit. But instead, OP from Vinci, but the Rebel is gonna keep him alive. Fisher only hitting on one member though. But good to find Mariachi in the fight. There's the Fate's goal, but he doesn't connect anyone with the CC. Instead, he gets changed to CC. He's coming from the side, but there's no CC on his side either. So he can redo anything. They can just zone them out of the Dragon Pit. They're look at Dragon number 3. Okay, this is the question.
You say that, but I don't think so.
Oh, he would have gotten it.
Yeah, it did go down to 2 health, I'll give you that. There was the potential, but they can't really go too hard because there's the chance that he might just get caught out. But I'd like to go over flying mariachis with such a strange Fate's Call from Muyu, pulling SLB back to go pretty much the exact same distance forward. So a little bit of a wasted chance there, that they could have got something a little bit better for the engage, but it is a little bit of a waste in the end, and are able to pick up at least a dragon out of it, which you would hope with so many ultimates blown.
I wanna just quickly ask you, because I'm not sure how it works, but can you flash during the Fate's Call if you're the one that's gonna get put? So if you get thrown out, can you flash and then where you land, that's gonna be the knock?
I want to say I haven't actually seen that in a while, so I don't actually remember off the top of my head, but I'm fairly sure that you are allowed, because you are allowed to TP while using the Fate's Call, as you may have seen some streamers doing, but I'll have to say yes on that one, I believe. So it had the potential, but to be fair, you don't really want to blow your ADC's defensive summoner just so you can try and get an engage.
The support flash.
Oh, the support cannot. No, the support
Okay,
can't.
because that's what I was thinking.
You could flash afterwards, but even so, you wouldn't really want to
But you don't
because
get the CC out of
no, because I don't think you can flash until it's actually finished.
it. Okay, so that was what I was thinking. If they were gonna pull SLB back and then
Alright,
just gonna flash into the CC.
I see what you mean, yes. But no, nothing. It would be a weird thing to do anyway, I think. But we'll have to see. Are gonna take this turret and potentially turn around on the Aussie man, who does get caught and melted by this mariachi side.
Distance between his allies, so they can really follow up. Versus the backer, he's looking for something new. The exhaust is keeping him alive, and then just to get the kill on the press. 2 members already down from 3 Hona. This is looking like a 2-0 sweep coming up from flying mariachis. Learning place doesn't have package up. He gets CC'd. Flash play. He's keeping him alive. He's finally gonna go down. But the rest of the team are
yeah.
into the fight.
Nuri just baiting. That's clearly what it is.
There finally goes the inhibitor. Vinci is being CC'd and he manages to flash away.
Oh,
Just barely.
Vinci.
It was burning him. Just so
Really? Vinci surviving on 1 health. Really?
1 health, was it 1?
It might as well have been, to be honest. Even if it wasn't 1 health, it was pretty much single digits coming out of
Oh, here we go,
the
curtain
team.
call. Ah,
Hey.
yes, there we go.
Lovely pick.
If you can, I think we need to remember curtain call is being shot. We need to like silence so we can get the sound animation. Like, everyone can hear it.
You could do, but you'll instantly get that reaction when it does hit and manages to kill someone. We see the double super minions coming out though, and this should be an easy Baron pickup on the side of flying mariachis if they can all rush their little backsides over there. Highlander is still 20 seconds up though, so who knows? Maybe they'll be able to get. Maybe they won't be able to do it, but I would think so, considering that. Freehunter are pretty much stuck in their own base right now, with still 2 inhibitors down. Mino English picking up that blue buff, and Vinci is hanging around, but he's got no flash. He's got an explosive cask, but oh, what?
Just wants a ward in the Baron pit, but he gets zoned out of it. Instead, he can get just behind Baron, so he can get, but the pink ward was there, so he doesn't have nothing.
Ooh.
Not. Gets the ulti.
Yeah, good explosive cast to sort of try and stop Muyu from doing anything too bad, but because he's got no explosive cast, this does open them up to an easy Baron now, as they just go in.
Only press protecting the double minion wave that's gonna come from the bottom lane. Bucket's turn already fell. And now they're looking to fight. This is a 5v4 and it should surely be flying Mariachi's way. Vinci is the first target. That's gonna go down from this one. 4 members remaining from 3 Hana. Can they protect this base? There's a lot of minions in the base. And Chris can do basically anything because he's an assassin. He can really assassinate those minions. And the minions are gonna finish off the game.
Yep. Winions do pick it up in the end, although it would have went over anyway because of that Baron empowered wave that would have came up and Vinci still being down. So a good pickup from the side of Flying Mariachi's able to pick a solid 2-0 and really nicely played to again capitalize on their advantages, but a much better showing from Frihuna in that second game, able to trade out a lot more effectively. But just, in the end, it just feels like there was just too many miscommunications, little bit of missteps and oversteps here and there that just meant that the side of Flying Mariachis could just pressure these objectives lovely and take what they needed, and in the end, taking out that series.
Yeah, it almost felt like Trihana were more concentrated on getting those kills rather than getting the objectives. Because if you look at the scoreboard, they only got one turret the whole game. And that's the main reason the gold rate was 13,000 gold, that with the 2 parents. So, really just getting, just focusing on one target instead of getting kills and getting objectives. But that is the series going over to the Flying Mariachis, who are gonna collect the whole full 3 points for their series. So quickly looking at the standings, they're gonna move up. Well, they're still gonna be on the 5th place, but they're only 1 point behind of Glamour Girls and Good Game Squad and Exire, who are all sitting at 6 points. So if they manage to win next week, they're gonna move up a whole lot of positions in the standings all the way to 4th, and as half of the season is already gone, these teams are really looking to make sure they are qualified for the playoffs for the top 6 remaining teams. And that is the games from this week. Be sure to tune in next week, as we're gonna bring you some even more League of Legends from the Premier League and from Sunday with the one minor league game. So a lot of action still to go, 4 weeks left of the series. I was Krang, and I was joined by Good Bro Joe, and this is us saying good night.
When I think of the future, I think of the men and machines and friends and ideas and philosophy and spirit. Men and machines. Men and machines. When I think of the future, I think of the men and machines and friends and ideas and philosophy and spirit. Men and machines. Men and machines. When I think of the future,
I think of the man and machine. And friends and ideas and philosophy and spirit. And machine. Man and machine. Man and machine. Friends and ideas. Man and machine.
All of your wind has gone.